eerie, irradiated, and hostile. Three of the best words to completely describe the vibe and feel of the whole Stalker series. Now, I've just heard of this series very recently from a friend, and if you haven't heard of it as well, now's the perfect time too. Loved by many fans for its phenomenal first game, Shadow of Chernobyl, because of its design that continues to promote freedom and immersion to the dark and eerie, creepy nature of the zone. And this love and hope continues on to its upcoming sequel that's coming out in the first quarter of 2024, Heart of Chernobyl. So many is hyped up for the next game, and if you've seen the trailers, I'm pretty sure you would too. Now stop. If you're anything like me, you probably don't know anything about the game or background of the whole series, like why the dogs are looking ugly in the game, and how bloodsuckers came to be, and how these things are actually pigs. This whole part's gonna be for those unaware of the plot, so skip ahead if you want, or just stay if you want an extra recap on what's happening. Now, going in, imagine a group of scientists called the Group took over Chernobyl right after the meltdown, made many research stations to research about the ways to change the human mind for the good of the world. They plan to take out anger, cruelty, and greed from the human mind to stop the atrocities of the modern world by using the noosphere. A very real sphere around the world that is directly linked to the human mind, using something called sea consciousness or common consciousness to alter it. Obviously, it backfired. It created the zone, a place where anomalies that break space and time reside, where the stalkers hunt, and where you and the whole series take place in. Through the constant radiation and psi emissions, the common fauna and flora of the area has been mutated to extreme levels, humans turning into mindless zombies, and so did all the other mutants we saw throughout the series. And ever since the zone was created, the sea consciousness has been actively trying to prevent it from growing any further by trying to contain it with little to no effect, resulting in the ever-expanding state of the zone. What happens in this upcoming game? We don't know much yet. But what we do know is that it definitely won't be the same main character as the one in the first game, or the second game, or the third. Now here, a character named Skiff will be the protagonist, but other than that, we're going in completely blind with the game. And with just that, you will understand exactly why this game might actually be one of the best games of 2024. The story itself is super fun, as you've just heard myself explain, with lore that's super interesting, but of course, the main selling point of this series is due to the ability of the devs to fully immerse you in this world of mutants and anomalies to such an extent that it's unbelievable. Judging from the time the first game has been released, what GSC Game World made was revolutionary because of its highly advanced A-Life environmental AI. In the first game, survivors will whimper and shriek as you kill the nearby mutants, and the random bloodsuckers and dogs will attack bandits in the distance with howls echoing. And occasional gunfire will be heard from the distance, combined with the fact that the gun mechanics implemented for the game is super realistic, and the fact that the enemy AI is well enough to hide and flank you if you're not careful, and the fact that the weather and day-night cycle is highly realistic for its time. You have a game that's immersion is so good, it's crazy. Unmatched even to this day, where legit everything is photorealistic. There is constant tension that never gets loose, curiosity that never runs out, and joy that just never stops. Do I need to remind you that this game was released in 2007? This game was released 17 years ago, and the impact can still be felt and enjoyed to this day. And the very same creators are now equipped with equipment and software that's so much better than ever. Just imagine all the possibilities of what we can get to experience once it's out. Create an Unreal Engine 5, which the earlier trailers have shown countless times, boasting ultra photorealistic lighting, resolution, and models that look absolutely beautiful. But of course, it's not perfect. I'm not going to forget the part where the glitches and bugs throughout the first game was just as plentiful as the hostile monsters roaming around. The enemy AI, for example, while advanced, can still bug out, such as them running and getting stuck in corners, or trying to shoot through walls, or just standing still for no reason at all. These bugs, they cause the immersion we have of the game to simply pop like a bubble. And of course, no game is perfect, and even more so in games that have such huge map with mobs that are constantly roaming around and interacting with the environment. They're just bound to be bugs. But still, the point stands that this upcoming sequel is promising. Great graphics, amazing story, and actually hard enemies, but there is one glaring problem I haven't touched on yet. A problem that many have been protesting and commenting about, and those who've seen the 15-minute demo of the game recently will know exactly what I mean. The downright horrid visual downgrade from what we saw in the trailers. look at these two comparisons. Now, as you can see, the difference is massive. The shadows seem flatter, the models look more pixely, and everything just looks worse generally. Now, why is this the case? There are a lot of contributing factors as to why it is, such as there being the Russia-Ukraine war, or the possibility that they cranked the settings lower for easier gameplay, or the opposite, which is cranking up the graphics to the max for the sake of it looking great in trailers. But the thing is, can we really blame them for that? For those unaware, the devs are literally going through hell right now, having to move studios because of the Ukraine bombings, getting enlisted in the military, and even one of the devs passed during the war. Most are being moved to Prague for refuge, but many are still unable to leave, still stuck back there. You can actually see what they're going through by watching the developer diaries that they make that really showcase the horrors that they have to face day by day. And I just like people to know what they're going through and to just chill about the game because, one, come on man, it's a game. Give them time and cut them some slack after what they've gone through. And two, it might not be as bad as you think. Now, I wasn't at Gamescom, but the people who did have mostly been positive about the game. Everywhere I see, the people who's actually been there and played the demo have said that it's amazing. The comments of it looking downgraded never came from them, but from the people who's watched the trailer in the YouTube. Now, the fact that they are fine with it and even positive about it just shows how little we have to worry about it. And it looks to me that most people only refer to this one scene with the dog to just show how bad it is, but when you look at other scenes, it looks pretty decent, while it is looking worse than the trailers. Will this come out great? Or hell, will it even come out in the end? I can't say for sure. I definitely cannot. There has been a lot of delays, and any more might go against the publishing deals, or they might even run out of funding. But whether it goes out amazing, or unpolished, or even half-baked, I know that no matter what state the game is in, there will be a lot of people lined up trying to buy this game, because not only is it a new Stalker game made by revolutionary devs, it's also another way to support the devs after what they've gone through. In the end of the day, even if the game comes out with just glitches and bugs everywhere, it's just another anomaly in the zone.